Phantom of the Open follows one Maurice Flitcroft, the man who holds the record for the highest round in British Open history. Hello, everybody. My name is Josh, your movie apprentice, and the Phantom of the Open comes to UK cinemas on March 18th, so just under a month from now. And yes, I am reviewing this a bit early, but quite frankly, I did not feel like reviewing Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022 today. And I've been wanting to talk about this one for a few months now. I saw this movie at the BFI London Film Festival back in October. Didn't review it back then because there was a lot of films I saw, and there wasn't a whole lot of press material or buzz around this film as of yet. But now there are trailers being shown, so let's get into this. Mark Rylance, who's getting a bit typecast as the oddball weirdo at this present moment in time, does a fantastic job as this lovable, slightly dim character, and his motives for just trying to get into the British Open are very relatable. He comes from a town where you can only really do one of two things when you grow up, and if you lose that livelihood that you've grown up with all your life and you have nothing really to fall back on, you gotta jump into some new hobbies. And this man just fell in love with the idea of golf, got some cheap golf clubs, and decided, oh, I'm just gonna apply for the British Open. And due to some oversight and short-sightedness from the higher-ups when it came to British golf, allowed him to participate, and were absolutely shocked when this guy wasn't in fact a professional. He's not actively trying to con the British Open to get in there. He very much just thinks matter of fact about it when he's applying for this. And the comedy and the dry delivery from Rylance in this is brilliant. Obviously, to say Mark Rylance and indeed Sally Hawkins, who plays his wife in this, are great is like saying water is wet, though that is disputed. These two are a great couple, and while there is a lot of comedy in this, there is a lot of heart featured within this as well. These two have some very tender moments, and if their chemistry didn't work, this film I don't think would have worked as well. It's primarily a comedy, but a lot of the emotional beats do come from the family dynamic and the unwavering support from Sally Hawkins' character. He has three sons in this as well. There are a couple of twins that give us a very Fred and George aesthetic, and that's all I could think about when watching these was they were very much Fred and George. And he has a son who's more grounded. There is a direct contrast between Maurice Flitcroft and the eldest son, whereas Maurice Flitcroft is a dreamer, and as far as he's concerned, if you want to do something, just go out and do it. There's a great little subplot where he asks some work colleagues what they want to do, and one says they want to open a pub. He says, go do it, and that individual does indeed go and do it, and it's a nice little Sowers inspiration. So while things don't really work out for Maurice Flitcroft with the British Open, as you know, does the highest score in British Open history, his little bit of advice encouraged someone else to go out and live their best life. On the flip side, you have his son, who's very much a realist, all about image and business, and doesn't want to be embarrassed in front of his superiors by his father, who is the stereotypical heart is in the right place. He's just a bit dim. One of the few things I have problems with in this film, it's not really a problem that I have myself, but the accents are very thick in this. They are really thick British accents. I can't even say the overall British. Like, think of it similar to how Trainspotting has the thick Scottish accent. These guys play the accent from their region, which I can't remember off the top of my head. I will be completely honest. I don't want to say what part of the UK is wrong in case I'm wrong off the top of my head. But the accents are really quite thick, which means I don't think this film will be overly accessible to those that live outside of the UK, purely because the accent barrier might be hard for people to get through. But if you are someone who doesn't mind accents and like seeing the breadth of the British vocal range, then you might very much enjoy this. The comedy in this is very blunt and very dry. It is classic British humour. That dry, just blunt, serious British humour that half the time the jokes land because they're delivered like they're not trying to be jokes. It's just exchanges between characters. That just so happens to be absolutely hilarious. It's a very heartwarming tale. The set piece when it comes to the golf and the montages is really good. The antagonistic characters can be a bit comical, but you can tell they've been amped up in the comedic value for the purposes of this film. You can definitely see where these guys are coming from because golf is very much known to be quite a posh sport with these high class people playing these rounds of golf. So seeing this dockyard worker suddenly just showing up with these second hand golf clubs ready to have a crack at British Open is definitely a jaded thing that affects a lot of the higher ups in the British Open. So you can see why they'd want him out of it, but they are also very aware they're being quite hypocritical. The comedy in this just works really well. It is an unapologetically British film. And if you are into British cinema and British movies, this I feel like would definitely be a win for a lot of people that go and watch this. This was my favourite film of the London Film Festival last year. Is it the best movie? No, but it was my favourite, and there's like a differentiation there. There's definitely going to be a bit of a language barrier and a cultural barrier between British and non-British viewers. But if you're in for just a fun, heartwarming comedy that balances the comedy and the emotional beats well, then you're going to have a really good time with the Phantom of the Open. Overall, like I said, Mark Rylance and Sally Hawkins are a brilliant duo in this, and they have some very strong emotional moments that counterbalance the outright blunt hilarity that comes when it comes to the actual golfing aspects of the movie, and the family dynamic works really well as well. Overall, for me, I'm going to have to say that Phantom of the Open is a good cup of tea. So, the Phantom of the Open, do you plan to see it? If you have, let me know what your favourite Mark Rylance performance or Sally Hawkins performance is down in the comments below. Coming up on the channel, I will be reviewing the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre in a spoiler review, hopefully tomorrow or Tuesday, depending which I manage to get out first. But until next time, click the like button, subscribe so you never miss a video like this, and do help with that algorithm. And my name is Josh. I have been your Movie Apprentice, and I'll see you all